Today, we're talking about an issue that touches the lives of every community across Nigeria: partisan politics. Should traditional leaders remain neutral? Now, traditional rulers are meant to be the fathers of their people, the ones everyone turns to in times of conflict, for guidance and for protection. Now, imagine a family where the head shows selective loyalty. Now, suddenly, trust is broken and tensions rise. That's what happened when a traditional leader takes sides in politics. Now, villagers may feel their voices aren't heard, disputes get messy, and unity starts to crumble. On the other hand, when leaders remain neutral, they can bring people together, mediate conflicts fairly, and ensure that no one is left behind, now regardless of who wins an election. Their neutrality can mean access to schools, healthcare, and development projects for everyone in the community, not just those aligned with a particular party. But some argue that traditional rulers as citizens should have, or rather should also have, the right to express their political views, raising questions about how to balance personal freedom with the responsibility of being a unifying figure. Now, across Africa, laws in countries like Zimbabwe and Burkina Faso actually forbade traditional leaders from engaging in partisan politics, showing just how fragile trust can be if neutrality is compromised. Now, this morning, we want to hear from you, the people whose lives are directly affected. Should our traditional rulers remain a political? Should our traditional rulers, remain apolitical to protect unity and fairness, or should they have a voice in politics too? Call in and share your thoughts this morning. Let's have this conversation. This topic has been, a bit of a controversy for a while now, and people have come out to say that traditional rulers should not be involved when it comes to politics. And some others are arguing that traditional rulers are also citizens. Don't you think that they should have the right to, be at the side of any politician that they feel has the mandate to either govern the people well or bring development to the community? So we want to hear from you this morning. The numbers are displayed on your screen. You can call us in. Let's have this conversation, or you can also send us a WhatsApp message and let's hear from you. Now, when you look at it legally, the Constitution does not, state that traditional rulers should be involved in political matters. And we have seen that, political matters are really messy at the end of the day. And when a traditional ruler or a leader comes into, want to take sides at both parties, it tends to make them lose their dignity and also their personality as a royal father. I mean, royal fathers, there's this sacredness around them that, with the way they carry themselves, their personalities, and what they stand for. So we have our first caller on the line, Ade. Good morning, Ade. Thank you for calling in this morning. It's been a while you called in on the show. I hope you're fine.
I'm okay. Everything's cool. And good morning to our president. And good morning to Nigeria.
Good morning, Ade.
Traditional ruler should remain neutral for their own safety, because let's assume that a traditional ruler, maybe in my place now in Ondo State, support a candidate, and that candidate will win. That's a guarantee that when the other candidate won the election, he will remove the traditional ruler, because our constitution put that provision there. You can remove them, just find excuses, and they are gone. Nothing will happen. And you will replace it. Happen every part of Nigeria that we see that we remove traditional. I remember where Abacha removed Sultan there. So, the dead Sultan. So, you can imagine. So, they are fathers of the nation, fathers of their community. They should remain neutral. They can support on the ground without committing themselves. They can support on the ground, but not publicly supporting any candidate, because it's risky for them, the way we operate in Nigeria. So, That's my advice to our traditional ruler. Rather, they should put pressure on the government, local government, state government, and the federal government. They put pressure that people are suffering. Security is not okay. Health situation is not okay in Nigeria. So they should put pressure on them. That's their job as a traditional ruler. But not to publicly say, I align with this, I align with that. No. Because the way we price our politics in Nigeria is totally different. You know, it's do or die affair. We don't, when it comes to politics, we set God aside in Nigeria. Nobody put God in politics. We always set God aside. In other things, we put God. If anything happens, we say, that's how God wants it. That's how Allah wants it. But when it comes to politics, we don't put Allah there. We go to court. We go to Supreme Court. Because that's what we believe. So, my advice is that, Chancellor, don't involve yourself in politics, but give a shout out to those who are in the government, that they should do what they are supposed to do in order to save our citizens from suffering. You know, that's my own advice. Good morning. God bless Nigeria.
Good morning, Ade. Thank you for calling in and joining the conversation. Well, the phone lines are still open. You can call us in. You can also send in a WhatsApp message. Let's hear your thoughts concerning what we're discussing today. Should traditional rulers be involved in politics? Now, when we talk about partisan politics and also traditional rulers, it's a very big question. Should they be neutral or should they stay clear, like totally, when it comes to political matters? But then we cannot deny that some politicians tend to use these traditional rulers because they know they are the fathers of that community and that state. So they have the power and the tendency to pull, the crowd and the people for those politicians. But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Abubakar. I'm calling from Kogi State.
Good morning, Abubakar. Thank you for calling in. Please go ahead.
Yes, I want to make a very little contribution.
Please go ahead.
If you look at the nature of our politics, Nigerian politics, I don't think it is advisable for traditional rulers to be involved in our politics.
Okay, do you have a particular reason why they should not be involved in politics?
Yes, because I told you earlier, I don't want to speak too much. If Nigeria remains a traditional ruler, traditional is a power to all the people within its domain. So if you look at the nature of Nigerian politics, you look at our politics is not based on merit. So for our traditional to involve themselves in our politics, I think it's not healthy for them.
All right, thank you, Abubakar, for calling in this morning and joining the conversation.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sharing your thoughts. Thank you.
Yes,
we're still having the conversation concerning traditional leaders and rulers, if they should be partisans when it comes to politics or if they should stay neutral. Now, based on our introduction, we saw that traditional rulers are royal fathers for all, regardless of the political party that you belong to, regardless of your religion, regardless of where you know what you believe in and what you stand for. They are royal fathers and they should not be involved in politics. Their role is to bring the community together when there are issues, when there are chaos, and they are meant to judge and trash out the issues neutrally and not taking sides. And based on the political system that we have in Nigeria, a lot of people are saying that it is a tricky one for a traditional ruler or a traditional leader to engage in politics, being that it's going to be, them putting or rather driving their allegiance to a particular party. And there are instances that if, that political candidate does not get to win the election and the next governor is coming in, it's going to be like, a battle as to this traditional ruler did not support me during my time. So it's a whole lot when we talk about traditional rulers and, joining politics. But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Sonny from Benin, Edo State.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I think that traditional rulers, I don't know Nigerians. Don't they also have their own view? They also have their own perspectives to issues. Even before the advent of democracy, Nigeria were operating different regions. And it was through the traditional ruler, whether they are passed now, it was through that institution that Nigeria were managing their life and the citizenry. So I think that it will not be right, whether legally, constitutionally, for you to remove traditional ruler from partisan politics. I think what we should concern ourselves with is that what kind of view, what will be their body language when dealing with the issue of politics as it pertains to Nigeria. For example, we have had a fair share of whether you call it discontinue or issue with our various traditional ruler. Yeah, I'm sure you can hear what is going on in those states right now about the role of traditional rulers. I'm sure you have read about what is going on. During the last administration 2007, the former administration had issue with traditional rulers from Edo Central, just because that one also have his view or have his candidate, and that now annoying the sitting governor. So I think that we need to understand that in politics, in democracy, everyone's view matters. That's the reason why you can see that the majority will always win. So I think what we should concern ourselves with right now is that let the majority win, let the minority continue to also have their say. But to say that they should not get involved is what I do not like. The only challenge I have with traditional ruler when they are trying to make their stand, because as a royal father, you have become the father of all, whether in that constituency, in that unit, or in that environment. So I think that your view should be that let the best man win. But that does not mean behind closed door, you do not have your say who you are supporting. But don't make it so obvious to the point where when the man you do not support eventually find his way into a political office, he now try to use that against you. Like you have seen whether in the West, like you see what happened with our former emir in Kano. So I think that traditional rulers should be allowed to air their view. But in any of your view, make it in such a way that you are not trying to humiliate others because you like this man. Make your view. All of them comes to you to say, please, I need your blessing. I'm going for this office and so office. Pray for them. Please, may the best man win. And when you come into office, what you promise to do, ensure that you do it. Otherwise, our forebear, our forefather, or our constitution will not be happy with you. I think it should stand like that. But to make it look as though I do not like you, even though the man will be the best man, it becomes problem. So I think that will be our emphasis that traditional ruler, religious leaders, because when you talk about traditional rulers, you're also involving the religious leaders. That pari passu, they should be able to say that even though you win, ensure that the XYZ you are promised, do it. But don't make it look as though because I don't support this man, you not publicly humiliate him or try to say something against him. I think you can do that behind closed door. But when you come up publicly, let people know that you are not for A or for B. Like the former president said, I'm for you and against you. So things like that. That's how I look at it.
All right, thank you for calling in and joining the conversation and also sharing your thoughts. So I think that,
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. So the issue at this point is not just about politics, it's about power, it's about trust, and it's about unity, because the people in communities and states where they have their traditional rulers have this huge respect and huge trust on their traditional rulers because they see them as their royal fathers. And just like, you know, some critics, have argued that the type of politics that we play here in Nigeria, it's not healthy for traditional rulers to, you know, involve themselves openly, because when the people tend to see these things, they kind of, you know, lose trust for these traditional rulers, knowing fully well that politics is not, you know, a clean game, as we all know. But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from? All right, I think we lost that caller, and then just okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Daniel.
Good morning, Daniel. Where are you calling from? Hello, good morning,
Hello?
Daniel. Good morning, Daniel.
Are you? It's okay. I'm getting you now. issue of traditional
rulers.
Okay,
please, Daniel, before you proceed, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Jalingoma.
All right. Thank you for calling in. Please go ahead.
You see, since the local government administration system came on board in 76, that is 1976, by I think the Obasanjo Yar'Adua administration, the chief of that administrative power from traditional leaders, and now gave it to local government chairman. So, but the issue here is that for telling them not to participate in politics, no, it's a foul. Because these people are humans. They have to debate on issue that has to do with them. You cannot just tell them, do this, they can't. No, they normally tag them as custodians of culture. That language is very bad. One thing I like, if you look at the traditional settings in the eastern part, it's mostly democratic. But in the northern part, it's one-man show. And that is where the problems come that you see these politicians, the present government, or let me say the system now at hand, doesn't allow them to participate because an Amir, which is Emir, can decide what to do. If an Amir tell you leave the entire community, you will go. But in the western part, in the eastern part, the Igbo precisely, it's a collective something, a democratic something that they will sit down at a community level, make decision, and it binds. So I believe that if they will allow community leaders to go with the view of their community people in a democratic setting at that level, I think it will help our political system. Where that somebody will just sit down as a governor and handpick one person. I remember when the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, was given an illustration of all the delegates of a thing. 3 people will sit down and elect a senator that will represent 1 to 200 people. It's very wrong. So it's the same thing applicable to these traditional leaders. I think if you want to get it right, it should start at the community level where decisions should be taken in their presence in a democratic way, and it will now move up to the higher level. So I think for them to be being in a neutrality doesn't even exist in sociology. You must either be here or be here. You can never, even if you have 2 children, you can't say you love them all. You must love one person. So they can never be neutral. Physically they can neutral, but internally they can never be neutral. So the aim has not been achieved. So thank you very much. This is my little bit contribution.
Thank you for calling in and joining the conversation. I mean, and as a journalist, our job is to, not take sides, but to ask, the hard questions, being that this conversation has been, on the table for quite a long time now, where people are asking, should traditional leaders really involve themselves in politics, knowing fully well how we play our politics here in Nigeria. But then we have Shetima Yakudima calling in from Maiduguri this morning. Thank you for calling in, Shetima. Hello, good morning, Shetima.
Good morning, Maimuna. Good morning, Trust TV family. Good morning, Nigeria. This is Shetima Yakudima calling from Daybreak.
Thank you for calling in, Shetima. Please go ahead.
Honestly speaking, if at all we agree that our traditional rulers are the father of the society, so they should not participate in politics. They should remain neutral. Why did I say so? Because by the time they show their interest or they show that they are supporting another candidate, if that candidate did not get that power, they will be in trouble. If I told you are a father, every child before you, they are equal. Even though some child, they will be more loyal than the others. You at all. I know you love loyalty. Somebody who is loyal to you, whatever you told him, he will not fail you. He's very obedient. That love naturally come on him. But you have to be hiding. You have to be hiding. Why our politics today, the reason why our politics is going somehow, even engaging the public servants in politics. Even our law says a public servant should remain neutral, should remain his own desire, his own person that he love to be voted. Let him not to show it. Let him keep it in his mind. On the day of the election, let him go to the polling and just cast his vote to the one that he's supporting. But in reality, if you come out and show, today the problem that we're having, that's the reason why some they deserve to become a director in the state level, some they deserve to become a permanent secretary due to their competence, but they will not get it. Why? Simple because they showed their interest on another candidate, and that candidate had failed. Here in Maiduguri, I witnessed a case where in '99, a permanent secretary supported a candidate and a candidate failed. He was demoted to director. You see, Nigerian politics is dirty. Look at the case that happened in Kano. We all know it's politics, purely politics. Up to today, the Emirate Council of Kano did not take his shift simply because of politics. If at all we want to see a clean politics, our traditional rulers, they should remain neutral. They should not show the person that they are supporting openly. Anybody that comes, they give him prayers, they give him advice, and let him go. Between themselves and their vote on the day of the election, they should go and cast their vote and come back their palace and leave. That's the only thing. If you show a person that you do not support him, how can you advise him whenever he was wrong during his tenure in office? He cannot listen to you. So we should not be trying to dirty our politics because it is dirty already. We should not be add more dirtiness in the politics. Let them remain neutral. Let them remain fathers. They should they should be giving advices. Thank you so much and happy nice day.
Thank you, Shetima Yakudima, for calling in this morning and joining the conversation. Well, the conversation is still ongoing. You can still call us in or you can send a WhatsApp message. Let's have this conversation. So we have some couple of WhatsApp messages before we take some calls. I'll take this first message from Nandi Bete from Ogoja, and he says on traditional rulers and partisan politics. Good morning, Trust TV. Under normal circumstances, the traditional institution should be the last bastion of hope for any society yearning for justice, development, equity, and peace. Allowing traditional rulers to get involved in partisan politics will destroy confidence in them and erode this hope. And with the murky nature of Nigerian politics, it is doubtful if any royal father who is a known card-carrying member of a political party will still have the respect of his subjects, especially those who may be on another political platform. Traditional rulers should in fact remain the fathers of all by staying off partisan politics. That message is from Nandi Bete. Thank you for sending in your message. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Ali from Maiduguri.
All right, thank you for calling in. But before we continue this conversation, please can you turn down the audio of your TV set?
Yes, I've done that.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
So I am with the just immediate past speaker. The traditional rulers are also part of the government. Why did I say so? Because they play a vital role in the society. They are the area courts, they are the arm of the government. Because some of us have no access to the real government, but we have access to traditional rulers. If you listen to one conversation with Oni of Ife, he says that where there is no government, you might find a traditional institution. In a village, you can find the blama, the what.
All right, I think we lost that caller. I do want to call us back so we can continue the conversation. Okay, we have some couple of WhatsApp message. All right, let's take this WhatsApp message. Let's take this WhatsApp message from Ponfa and then from Jos. And it says traditional rulers should engage in partisan politics because they are the custodian of people from different political parties. Their engagement may bring division within their kingdom, though this is not conceding to their right to support their own candidates of choice. They should also be ready at all times to speak truth to power irrespective of whom in power. Thanks and good morning. I thank you for sending in your WhatsApp message, and that's a wrap on our phone-in segment. Thank you for everyone who called in to join the conversation, and to everyone as well who sent in their WhatsApp message. We'll take a short breather now, and when we come back, we'll be having our discussion segment, and this morning we'll be talking about APC's unfolding crisis, analysis on Wike's phenomenon ahead of the 2027 election. And I guess is Chief Okoye Obonu Obla. He's a lawyer, an APC chieftain, and also a public analyst. He'll be joining us virtually this morning. We'll be right back.